Welcome to the haul. I feel like it's really late at night and I look like something from the living dead, but we'll keep it moving.
Same.
We picked a selection. We're a bit because we're humans, we're a tiny bit behind in our process in terms of listing onto eBay because we've just been really busy. So we've selected a pile of items that will need to get listed very soon, but like highlights of the last maybe 2 weeks.
Or we picked up the last couple of weeks. No, maybe like a week and a half, yeah.
Yeah,
Ish.
but okay. It spreads over a few different videos, so
some of these you'd have seen, most of these you've seen already.
But some things you haven't seen, because
okay,
I know, for example, the first thing you haven't seen. So let's start with the first thing. That would be very helpful. So the first thing is this Madewell denim jacket. Madewell is an American brand. Predominantly, they did sell in Anthropology for a while, but they're very popular. It's a very popular brand in America. I don't traditionally pick up every item I see from this brand because, once again, the market isn't, it sells, but it isn't as big here as it is there, so you're not going to get the prices it deserves, if that makes sense. But if you're willing to have like a bread and butter sale, etc., then it's a great brand to pick up. I'm
just showing you, whilst Bethany's talking, it's totally distressed. It's a size medium, and we paid £7.95. Why is this an important jacket?
Well, it's not so much important, but Madewell is one of those popular brands that has been worn by notable people. Maybe a controversial wear on this one, but this jacket here, not this one right here, the one in the room, but this style jacket by Madewell was worn by Meghan Markle.
And that does sometimes it kind of ups the value a little bit, sometimes ups it a lot. How much would you say this jacket would be worth if maybe you couldn't add that to the tag? Same kind of price, or would you think it's more or less?
Well, I would try and get between 50 and 75 for it normally, but they're going for about 110.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, at certain times, at the moment, obviously, like you say, it's a bit controversial, but like,
there's loads of different things. Like, I mean, there's like a shirt that the lady Kristen Stewart wore in Twilight that goes for loads of money, that's from like Aritzia or something like that. There's like
and some things it's like, well, did that person wear it, it's no big a deal, but sometimes it does.
Or someone does all the outfits that Emily in Paris wears, for example, and the price elevates on the resale of things that she's worn.
Sometimes as well, like sometimes that's based on the fact that not necessarily that person's worn it, but because that person did wear it, they sold out at the time they were available or kind of general release, and now if people want to go back and get them, they pay a little bit more.
It's not even that. It's they sell out like straight away because they worn it, and then the resale goes through the roof.
Yeah, so both ways. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. I know what you mean.
Because a lot of the time, before they see it on the person, it's just a jumper.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It could be anything that just someone that kind of vibe is wearing. Next
up is this shirt. This got outshined a little bit by the
suit we got with it.
Yves Saint Laurent suit we got picked up at the same time. But this is it's pink. This is a pink shirt by, you know the brand.
Azzaro.
Yeah, you say it, because everyone's been mean to me.
Azzaro. No, they're not being mean.
They are. They're being terribly mean. Yes. My pronunciation.
If you're being mean, stop it. Behave yourselves.
You're not animals. My pronunciation is the best.
And mine isn't the best.
And
so talk about it.
This is a men's tailoring brand. When I looked at comps for this, the comps were sitting nicely on Vestiaire. So this is probably a piece I'm going to push more on Vestiaire.
Yeah, I agree.
But that doesn't mean to say it's not going to be cross-listed over all platforms, Depop, eBay, Vestiaire. And I'm going to list for about 70 to 80. That seems to be the sweet spot for these shirts.
Perfect. Someone did ask the other day as well, there was a specific item they talked about which specific platform to list on, and like I've said a million times before, list on them all. Like, use Zip Sale. If you don't use Zip Sale, cross list them anyway, but like, list on them all. The more eyes on the product, the more chance you have of selling it.
I try and say when we're showing you certain things what platform I think it will sell on,
yeah.
But that doesn't mean
you cross list either way.
I never single list. This was an Austin pickup. This in a recent video. This is a Warner Brothers denim shirt. On the back, this is fully embroidered. We do steam white, which is so everyone knows. This is fully embroidered. Obviously, the wash of the shirt is down to use and age.
I love it. Like, I just love the wear. Like,
however, the quality of the embroidery is still very much there. You can see it in that
thread count like plus 1,000. Like that looks like a print almost, doesn't it?
Yeah, super sick. So for instance, this will probably sell quickest on Depop, but it will be listed to eBay and Vinted as well. It's paid £6.50. It's a 90 shirt, size medium, and it will probably sell for about 65 to 70.
Like to give an idea, like this is kind of 90s, you just said, but to give an idea, like the width of this shirt, this is like a medium, like you just said.
Yeah.
It's the big. I got double XL on now, and this is like a big shirt.
Yeah, always really super generous though, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Next up is one of my, I really like this brand, I've got a little thing about it. They do a knit that says I'm luxury on it, and it's pink and cashmere, and I've just been desperate to get hold of it. Anyway, this is Chinty and Parker. Chinty and Parker is predominantly a knitwear brand. However, they do make t-shirts and things like that. I think trousers as well, but they are known for their cashmere. This is 100% cashmere, and it's got the back zip on it. It's an oversized knit. It's a good size. Size large, is it?
Size large. Medium. But it's oversized. It's oversized once again.
But they do a lot of wool, cashmere blends, etc. But the 100% cashmere is what you want to find.
What do we pay for this?
£7.50. And I would look to sell it at the £100 mark. Retail is about £300 off the top of my head.
Oh, that's a cool shirt.
Yeah, next one.
I feel like there's a lot of shirts right now, but apologies
I just picked that at random. So the next one is this. This is Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren is pronounced Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, someone picked you up on that the other day as well.
Ralph Lauren. It's not Ralph Lauren. It's Ralph Lauren, but it's Yves Saint Laurent because that's a French brand and this is an American brand. Anyway,
it's true.
This is a double RL, and the double RL, it's come up on a few channels the last year or so, but Austin's like a die-hard Ralph fan. He's like to the grave. And
do you know, actually, to be fair, one of the first people I've had in recent times talking about on the YouTube channel was Night's Life, when we did a podcast ages ago.
Yeah, because
he sent me like this Ralph shirt, and I was like, oh my god, this is the first time I've seen a reseller of recent times with it, you know?
Yeah, so
this was like almost a year ago.
This is RRL, and the tag does vary, but you're looking at this one literally is a spell out. It says double RL.
But some of them just say RRL. They're backwards. They're like,
And that is a portion of Ralph Lauren. It's sort of like a system brand, if you will, but they specialise in Western wear.
How would you guess that?
So the high quality materials, wools, denims, anything that you think is Western wear style, they specialise in it.
Like this is double ply denim, so like it has like a front and a back put together into two separate pieces, not one piece. So it's double the thickness basically.
Can I finish?
You may.
So the stores where you can buy this product, there used to be one in London. Is there still one in London? Yeah, there's
I think there is. Yeah, and near Great Frog. Where's that?
Yeah, that's London.
Canby Street. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And their stores, if you ever go into one or Google it, they're all vintage. All the sofas and the carpets and the how they've laid it out, or the cabinets are old like apothecary cabinets or fabric cabinets. Everything has a vintage vibe to it, and then all the clothes are very predominantly Western wear and clothes that are meant to last.
They look kind of worn as well, don't they? Like
some are more distressed than others.
Yeah, distressed,
but all like the Aztec print stuff and anything like that, and it obviously follows through into Ralph Lauren as a main brand, and you'll see a crossover in like styles and patterns and fabrics.
Yeah,
however, this is predominantly more expensive area of the brand. They do Western belts, they do
anything like
badges, they've just started, for example, in boutiques, they've just started selling used luxury watches like Rolexes and Audemars Piguet.
But what's special about those?
They're used and they're battered.
They're beaten and they're battered, so they're actually looking for ones which aren't necessarily perfect condition.
Yes. Vintage jewellery, for example, and it's all of a heightened price point. Now that's what's special about this brand.
Obviously, as Bethany said, being kind of Western wear and Western style, this shirt itself with the pearl snaps and the actual like kind of what I'd call a cowboy shirt.
You see how close pointed the collar sits,
like
and then it's got like a studded top button.
Yep.
Very sort of like Western horsey vibe, like spurs.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Anyway,
Spurs, yeah, good point.
Retail on these shirts is about 300, and depending on the shirt as to where the resale sits. So for example, like older discontinued styles will obviously hold their prices or go higher than their retail. And then there's like one that's like a patchwork, it's all different kinds of denim frayed, that goes for about 380, etc. I would expect between 150 and 200 back on a denim shirt. We pay 14 in a dress agency.
1.4.
So that's a really good brand, a really good find. Now, I know a lot of people, and try not to make this talky as possible, but I want to give you as much information. A lot of people write off Ralph Lauren in terms of resale based on experience and just
based
experience of reselling.
By Ralph Lauren.
But yeah, it's mainly based from what we see on Polo. Polo Ralph Lauren, obviously another area of the brand, and they specialise in polo shirts. The rugby sell really well consistently. The rugby sell tops, but polos and t-shirts and like Pima, cotton,
even K-Bon, they just don't sell like they used to.
They don't. You're looking for the specialty items within this brand. So you've got Polo Sport, so vintage Polo Sport, from like the 90s, like Snow Beach and
Snow Beach specifically. Snow Beach is a good one.
And then you've got Polo Bear, which is literally a bear character. The more discontinued, the better. You've got Double RL. Then you've got Purple Label, which is their high-end tailoring aspect of the brand, and it's literally a purple label that says Ralph Lauren. So there's huge money to be made in Ralph Lauren. It's what pieces you are choosing to pick up.
I think, like Bethany said, the labels are more important than anything. Predominantly, like I say, Purple Label, Double RL, those ones are definite money. No matter what kind of item you find, you'll make some good money as long as you're not spending up crazy. And I think, like you just said, more than anything else, keep an eye out for them, because don't see Ralph Lauren and be kind of put off. Yeah, I think a lot of people, because like you say, there's 100,000 polos out there. You can go into a shop today, guarantee you'll find something from them. For example,
we've just sold it and it's gone, so I can't show you, but maybe I'll do a short and put a screenshot of it. We bought a bobble hat from a charity shop about 2 weeks ago. It's gone. And it's a black fleece bobble hat with like tassels on the top, to the point where I was like, are you really getting that? And that was Polo Ralph Lauren, but it was a capsule collection called RL 2000, which was released in, you guessed it, 2000. It had just a rubber black stamp on a black hat. Honestly,
you can't get more Y2K than 2000.
If I showed you, it's just you wouldn't even believe.
It's a knit beanie with that kind of whole like I would say end of 90s kind of like, it looks like
tassels.
What do you call it, like
pom poms.
Yeah, it's not a pom-pom, but yeah, that kind of thing. Anyway, how much did it go for?
It sold for £75 and it went to the US.
And it was up for about 100, I'll be honest. We took an offer.
Yeah, well, I based my price basically on the fact that I couldn't find another one. And then there had been a couple of caps that have sold.
From that specific kind of RL 2000.
Yeah, and they had gone for about 150 to 175. But I know caps are very much more, people collect caps.
Yeah, no, I agree though. It's easier to sell a cap than it is a beanie or a bobble hat.
So I put it up for 100, and rightly or wrongly, I got an offer within an hour. I took it. It's gone.
That's it. It's gone to someone in America.
It's gone to the USA on GSP. This is next find. This was $5.99.
And this is from Joseph.
So Joseph is a higher end. I still borderline it as a high street brand because they have high street shops. But it is...
They're massive money, aren't they?
They are hugely expensive. And it's one of those brands that they've produced so much. They've been around for a long time. That the market has been diluted. And some pieces just don't get the money that it deserves, really. So if you're just diving into this brand, I would suggest picking up more out there pieces, that specialist material again, like linens, wools, cashmere, silks,
like this Murano. 100%
Murano, for example. The color blocking on this is really nice. It's really wearable. It's very on trend. It's very chic, what we'd call chic. Jeans and a heel
vibe,
jeans and a boot.
It's kind of like
a nice layering piece. Put a jacket or a tailored coat over the top with like a nice handbag.
Yep.
Like, it's very versatile in terms of your style.
Yeah,
you could wear it grunge, or you could wear it chic. You could wear it. Like,
that's a really good point. And don't let people kind of put you off when you're picking up knits. Like, unless they're like a really fitted, anything oversized can look, anything like Bethany said, from grungy right through to kind of really uber high-end luxury. It's just how it's styled. So that's something to think about. I know you're not necessarily wearing it yourself, but think about if a piece is more versatile to you, it'll be more versatile to a buyer. You have more buyers thinking about purchasing, which is a good thing, obviously.
So we paid £5.99 for this piece, and I'm going to list it high. I'm going to list it between 80 and 100. I think I'm going to start at 100. Really good place for Joseph's vestiaire. And once again, it's all about presentation of the pieces and making it look new, contemporary, modern, clean.
Like a good example, this is like, I don't know if you can more pick it up, but it's quite bobbly. Like we debobble.
It's not too bad.
No, but I'm saying you have bobbles on there, but you're just talking about making it look as good as you can, and you know, not only for selling it, but also for your photographs too.
Yeah.
So when someone gets it, it's not like, you know, you're not doctoring your photographs and all of a sudden it's kind of like,
I choose not to style my photos, and I use a white wall based on the fact that everyone has different styles, and I don't want to tunnel vision one style of how you wear it. However, like I know a lot of people put like styling suggestions in the drop down box, or put, this is a really chic piece that you could wear with jeans, like something really simple. If you feel like that's going to sell your item and you can do it in a great way and you feel confident enough to do it, like it's not going to hurt it. I mean,
I'm not, if I see, or for example, say I was going to, I've got a blazer in my hand, say I was going to buy the blazer and I want to wear it as a smart blazer with like, I don't know, chinos or smart jeans or whatever. If I also was a cowboy, want to wear with a cowboy hat and a pair of like Levi's, that's not going to put me off. It just gives you another option. Anyway, speaking of blazers.
So this is the blazer. It's one of the blazers. We've picked up multiple blazers since then. I swear to you, if you don't follow us on the Luxury Pickers, you get sort of first dib looks of what we find. But I found that we found like the best blazer ever. Anyway, this is Yves Saint Laurent. How do you say it, Austin?
Yves Saint Laurent.
Yves Saint Laurent. And did you know how do you say Dior? When Austin, I always love this story, and I'm going to tell it for you because I've got a huge mouth.
You go,
so
sis.
when Austin got his position at Dior, the first thing that he was told to do, and bear in mind he went in at like managerial, etc. The first thing he was told to do is he had to learn to say the brand, and it sounds like a really silly thing.
So at home now, before you go any further, I was going to say just say that word, Christian
Dior, right? Everyone says Dior, like everyone says Moschino when it's Moschino, for example, and everyone becomes used to saying it the way that we're told to say it on TV and by celebrities.
I saw someone talking about the word Nike the other day.
Yeah.
Listen, I've said Nike since I was this big, because in Britain that's how we say it. The owner of the company refers to it as Nike, and when the owner of the company calls it Nike, it's Nike. There's no discussion. You can call it what you want to, but the reality is it's called Nike.
It's like you having a name, and my name's Bethany, and it's like someone called me
Bethany
for my whole life, and I'm like, no, it's Bethany, but because you're told that it's Bethany, you think it's Bethany. Anyway,
that's basically that.
So you were told when you started Dior that you had to learn to say Dior, and Austin was like, it's Dior, it's D-I-O-R, it's Christian Dior. Well, it's actually Dior now. They get a bit funny about the Christian bit as well now, because it's Dior, right? And he said, it is not a word, it's a sound. And he was like really funny about it.
I thought at first he was like yelling to say the word, and I was like, okay, yeah, fine, all right, yeah, Christian Dior, I get it. Maybe some people might say that wrong. He said, no, it's a sound. And I said, and I just looked, and he said, there's an upward inflection on the second piece of the word, but you say, Dior, Dior, Dior. So like, it could go, Dior. And he did this whole thing, and I was like, I walked out. He said, so what is it? I said, Dior. And he said, perfect.
Obviously, you can say it in a normal voice, but
don't say it like that. Oh, look, there's a blazer from Dior. But
so how would you say it in a normal voice?
Dior.
Dior. Dior. Dior.
But once again, it's the same. We're going really off track now.
No, I think it's interesting because we make jokes constantly about how we pronounce things, because, like, for example,
people think you're getting flack for getting it wrong.
I do say like normal words, like in a weird way.
You used to call Kashmirian as a joke.
I have a form of dyslexia, and if you say a word to me, or if you say a number to me, it just doesn't register in my brain. And I think as years have gone past, I make like little fun things to sort of like adapt to that and remember the word, etc. But it's like with everyday words or everyday brands, or if someone gave me like I don't know, like I say a Middle Eastern name, I wouldn't be automatically be able to do it. These brands are ingrained on our brains like the first language, you know.
Like anything, like you can say it however you want to. Givenchy.
Yeah, Givenchy.
Because that's how the brand is spoken. But you're not going to say that. Like most people say, so it ends up being Givenchy.
Yeah, you just
But then with people with an accent, might say Givenchy. And like your dad, that's how he would say it because he's got like a London accent. Givenchy. Or Givenchy. Like what I'm saying is it can go on forever.
Everything gets, you know.
That's how it is.
Dolce & Gabbana.
Yeah. Another good one. So some people say, well, for a start, it's Louis, not LB. It's Louis. It's not Louis because it looks like it could be Louis or Louis, right?
Yeah.
So it's Louis. But the second word isn't Vuitton. It's not.
So a lot of people say Vuitton.
Vuitton, right? It's not Vuitton. And I'm teaching. If I'm teaching you SOCAIL, I apologise. But by the same token, like people,
it's interesting. It's interesting.
So it being French and the way it's not only said by someone who is French. And if you're French or speak fluent French, please comment and just well, you can comment. I'm right either way. I am. That's what I'm saying. So I have friends who have worked there for many, many years. One's actually French, one isn't. And the only way to say that is Vuitton. That's how you say it. That's how a French person would say it, and that's how it's said. Oui. It's not it's not Vuitton. It's Vuitton. So, but you're not going to say that. So it then gets changed, and by the time you finish it, it's Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
That's not the name. By the same token, you say it how you say it.
My last one and my most favourite one, and it's
we should do a whole video on this.
Yeah, it's my most favourite one in the world. There's a brand that make the puzzle bag, and it is spelled Loewe, and a lot of people say Loewe.
Which it looks like, in fairness. If you're in English, if you're saying that in English lettering, right?
Loewe. But it is said Loewe.
And once again, so we were watching a fashion blogger the other day, and she is sponsored by said Loewe, but she actually said, she said, the way I say it with my accent, she said it is Loewe, but she said with my accent it comes out Louis. It was almost like Luigi, like Louis V or something.
It was so
and it was like, but that was her accent. So once again, this isn't digging anyone out, but I'm just saying when people have certain issues with wording, step your game up.
Right, next up. So this is the Yves Saint Laurent. It's a tux. So basically, it's a black tie garment. So it's not your average blazer. You can tell there's a few different ways to tell. Just general construction. There'll be a lot more to it than a general blazer.
The fabric here and the fabric here are two totally different fabrics.
So this is a silk.
Yep.
Trim. So lapel. And they're slightly wider. Yep. And then it makes sense. They're slightly wider that way.
Well, there's the comparison. You can see there. Sorry, the fabric is different. This is different to this.
This is a double-breasted example. So this label here, I don't know if anyone finds this interesting, but honestly, I would like to know because we don't go into huge depth because I don't want to bore you or overwhelm anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
But I will for this occasion. So this label here with the blue trim on the outside is 1980s. This pour homme, so it's for men, but this changes dependence. They did use this label for perfume. They do use this label for there's a brand called Variations, etc, etc, etc. But this is obviously menswear, but this blue line in 1980s. Now this is a double-breasted suit. It's long line.
Yep.
Which makes it extremely multi-use. In the modern world, I can see a woman wearing this with a black slip dress and a pair of heels. So
to give you an idea of length, I would say it is like if I were to have it on, like the bottom, like the top of my thigh.
Yeah.
Like for me,
we've sold a lot of.
So for a lady who is slightly shorter than me.
I sell blazers to other luxury companies that source for clients, especially. Ones that source for the Arabic countries, and they love double-breasted blazers, and they wear them as dresses, for example.
Yeah, especially the vintage ones, because once again, the new versions or the new styles of kind of repros, if you want of those, can go for thousands, whereas they can buy these for a few hundred and it's the same look.
So we bought that as a full suit for £30. Retail would have been plus 2,000. Nowadays it would be plus 5,000 to 6,000 for a custom black tied tux from YSL. They go for the blazers go for about 300 and the trousers about 150 to 200. The trousers do have the tuxedo line down
the stripe on the side there, the seam of the pants.
The silk stripe.
Does anyone else call trousers pants? I know it's an American thing, But you mug me all the time.
Wrestling his whole childhood, like he's a big like WWE.
Pants?
No, because you do Americanisms.
Oh,
because
okay,
you watch wrestling.
I see what you're saying. No, that's correct. I was like, why does that make a difference?
Because I never.
No, 100%. But I would also say sometimes when you're talking about like a trouser as opposed to a jean for a gent, a trouser is a trouser. It's a pant.
I just call it trouser. This is Diane von Wurstenberg. I'm pretty sure
DVF.
It's of German descent or somewhere.
Don't say it if you don't know it. That's the rule.
Von Wurstenberg, but she's American. She's American.
Yeah, she's 100%.
So I recommend when picking up Diane that you always look out for the wrap dresses. 100% wrap dresses. They release multiple every year in different patterns.
This isn't one.
This isn't one, but it was £3, so I can't say no.
Yeah, actually, I was just showing you the tag. This was £6.50, and we actually met someone who watches our videos in there, which was really cool. And the whole shop was half price.
Yes. So
it's £3.25.
No, it was £3 because all the dresses were £3, the tops were £2. So it was, the bric-a-brac was half price.
I retract my previous statement. I was incorrect.
However, this dress. So keywords: baby doll. Empire waist, paper bag, pleated, wool tweed, chevron wool tweed. There's loads of things you can do with this. But I think it's almost tulip actually, the skirt. It's like tapers inward. Yeah. That might be really annoying.
No, not at all, not at all.
It's not classical Diane. However, it has a lot of redeeming features. Ones that I just keyworded for you. So it's happy
once again, like you say, fabric content, style, colours.
80 to 100.
What was it?
Vestiaire.
Let's bang through these now.
Right, let's bang. Windsor London, newer tags, waffle cotton. I have got a lot of Windsor London, and it has slowed up of recent times, but we're not right now because it's a great tailoring brand, focused on sort of the professional woman. Tailoring is what you want to pick up or find from them. They have big blue labels.
Anyone who knows me knows I have an issue with this. They always come off.
But they're cute
I don't
to
know
look
why.
at, right?
They're amazing, but you end up having to have them redone, and
anyway,
it's just annoying.
This has got a real like 1960s mod, I think.
Yeah.
Big button, high neck. It does have a really cute look to it. Very, once again, multi-versatile. You could use it with tailoring. You could use it casually. I'd wear this. I actually think it's really cute, and I'm actually considering now trying it on now that it's in your hands.
You know what? She's a beauty clerk, and if that's what you want to do, you do that.
So,
what we expect of this on the resale side of things, that's what people are here for. The hard, cold facts, lady.
£9. Because it is newer tags, I will list it for 90. Retail's about,
you know what they call that in this part of the country?
A bargain?
10x.
Oh, and 10x.
It's also a bargain.
This is a shirt. This is a men's tailor shirt in a beautiful green, pink and purple stripe.
From?
Turnbull and Asser.
Oh, let's not go there.
Asser. A-S-S-E-R. Asser.
Asser.
Yeah.
Asser.
These shirts vary on price back based on the shirt. So like French Cuff do a little bit more with this brand. Any specialists, they do limited edition ones, they do tailoring ones.
Yeah, they French Cuff 3-button.
Tucks shirts, anything like that. They vary basically dependent on it. These always feel, they're 100% cotton, I'm telling you. They always feel like silk, and it's the most bizarre thing. I just love touching them.
If it's not 100% silk, it's like the best silk cotton blend ever, and it's not at all, which tells me the quality of the cotton is unbelievable.
They also make ties, other tailoring, socks, hats, suspenders.
Anything that a gentleman would wear.
Braces.
Yeah, or a lady would like to wear if they wear this kind of thing.
£7, £70.
Once again, talk about that 10x. Oh, this is a cool one. I appreciate these.
I like Rails. Got big love for some Rails. Rails. It is an American predominant brand as in terms of fan base. However, I find it sells really well. These plaid shirts are what they are known for. Everyone loves a plaid shirt from this brand.
They do.
I do have another plaid shirt from this brand. It's blue and purple. It's very vibrant. Whereas this is very subdued, wearable.
Subdued. This is a hunter shirt. This is called the hunter shirt.
The hunter shirt, thank you. £4 paid. It's got, it's also got a cute little label on here. I noticed the other day. See?
Nice detail, yeah.
I list these for 60.
What we had like a purple and a pink kind of check the other day. Did you just say that?
While Austin was reading the label, we continued our conversation. Let's talk about this quickly.
This is the last piece.
Okay.
We have so many to do, guys.
If you want another haul, please give this video a like. Because I haven't finished talking about my items.
Okay, we'll do some more.
This is Pierre Balmain.
Balmain.
It's pronounced Balmain.
Balmain, however you want to say
Once again, people say Balmain because that's how you read it. But it is
Balmain. French.
And you pronounce it Balmain. Anyway, so Pierre, my main man.
PB for short.
He was part of the big design revolution in the 1950s. He worked very closely, but not together, with Christian Dior, and they met during the war. And
during the war,
they homed in on the sort of fashion trend of the 50s, which was small waist, and then the skirts go out in a very circle fashion, tailoring. You've seen that, I've shown you.
Go and watch one of the videos in the last few videos at least. Go and watch the video. We went into some detail, or at least Bethany did, because she's clever and I'm not. Wait. About the connections with, like you say, Christian Dior and the label.
I was about to say something else.
You rock and roll.
Anyway, and also in the 50s, Mr. Pierre went to a fashion show for like up and coming fashion designers. And it was there where he met, and they say he discovered him was Karl Lagerfeld. Karl Lagerfeld is the only other designer to design for Chanel, apart from Coco Chanel herself. Unfortunately, obviously, he passed in the last few years. So there is an interim designer. However, they're not classified as being creative director of Chanel, and they haven't replaced him at the helm.
So for all those shouting at the screen saying this is the creative director, it's not.
She was his right hand man, and she is a woman, sorry, and she is a sensation. But she currently
hasn't been named officially.
She's working along to what Karl does,
and that may happen going forward. We'll see, but who knows?
Wait, I haven't finished with the Balmain shirt. So that was the 1950s label. 1950s was the only time where they issued the black label, which is in this says shirt. The only other comp for this,
I did show that.
I know a lot of people when they send me comps and we have convos. I just want to talk about quickly. Is a site called First Dibs. First Dibs has elevated prices, and I'll tell you for why now. They also sell furniture from acclaimed designers and clothing that is normally quite expensive. And a lot of people see the price and they think, oh, we've hit the jackpot. First Dibs is very good, but First Dibs is an invite-only platform, so you can apply. And you have to have credentials. You have to have a history of selling. And it has to be very substantial. You have to provide books. You have to provide client base. So you have to offer them something, and then you get invited once you've given all that information. It also costs a lot of money to be on it. And that is why prices are somewhat elevated to the going market, because First Dibs
charge a lot.
Really promise you the clientele and the customer base based on the people they've already got on there, and the people who've got eyes on there. And in return, you pay them. It's very much like a 5-star country club membership. You do have to pay £1,500 a month. However, you get to meet John Bon Jovi when you're having your lunch. I'll be honest. So it's a similar sort of thing. So the last known comp for a 1950 shirt is from First Dibs, and that was £940. Dresses go for about between 3,000 and 5,000. So we'll be listing it above 200-300.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would go for about like the £350-400, and then we'll obviously from there we will look to take offers depending on what the kind of watching situation is.
Okay, this is the last one. This is the last one, because I've got another royal to go with this one. So this is the Fold. The Fold is another tailoring brand, very similar to Windsor London.
Indeed.
Except for Windsor London uses a very muted palette. And the Fold is a bit more adventurous. They make suits, they make dresses, they make all kind of things.
They have this kind of...
This is an origami peplum. I would still call this a peplum, even though it doesn't
is.
pep. And it's half. It's in a chevron tweedy material, but it's got like a circle skirt, fit and flare. Should we say that?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. Long sleeve, which is nice. It's nice to see a long sleeve. You don't always see it, but very known for tailoring, made in London. All that exciting things.
It's £15.
£14.99 actually, sir.
I take my penny back.
Pennies add up to pounds.
That's factual.
This dress was worn by Kate Middleton, so we got Mark or Middleton. Hopefully they have a fight in the 80-litre tub tonight.
Well, take my hat and call me Betty, because I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. I did feature it in our video where we found it, but we'll ignore the fact you don't pay attention to anything. I will list this based on the fact that Mrs. Middleton wore it. They go for about 110 to 130.
Yes, I do actually remember now. We discussed the colourway and how this possibly could be the exact colourway she wore.
It was just the exposure of the lights. Anyway, so that's been us. We're alright, you alright? Daily uploads are going alright.
How is things with you at home?
Yeah, you let us know. You tell us how you feel.
Or,
we got you.
I'm not sure we do.
I don't know who's got us at the moment. No.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm going to be honest with you.
Daily uploads is it's a lot of work.
Shout out in the comments if you appreciate the daily uploads. I know there's a few people which like kind of comment and say they are. But as a whole, just let us know if you are enjoying them. If you can think of something else you'd rather see, like paint drying, I'll gladly film some of that. That would be easier than what we do. Happy to do that for anyone you know, who participates in the comment leaving. Over and above that, we shall see you next time for another scathing edition of What Did We Find?
And if you would like the other half of this haul, then you let me know and we'll hook you up. I'll hook you up, even if Austin doesn't.
I might just leave and she can run her own. Not bothered.
Solo haul.
Solo haul. Anyway, goodbye.